Hello everyone! In this video, I'm going to teach you how you can train your dogs to leave each other alone when they're playing with toys or enjoying treats or chews. Now, if you have a dog that has the potential to guard food or toys or spaces, I suggest getting help from a professional trainer who doesn't use any forms of physical or psychological intimidation to help you with these issues, because you might not be able to read the signs that your dogs are uncomfortable, and that expert's really going to be able to help you, and you can incorporate this video in your training. Okay, so to get started, you might have heard me say leave each other alone. So a big part of this training is teaching the dogs leave it. So to begin with, you can play simple exercises where you're teaching one dog at a time leave it from very simple things like low-value treats, low-value toys, and then you're going to start to generalize so the toys and the food is more exciting when it's just one dog. And so I already have videos on how to train leave it from food and toys, and then also from other dogs and people. So I suggest watching those videos along with this tutorial, and I'll link those in the description below. Essentially, after teaching your dog the concept of leave it, you're going to create situational cues that cue the behavior. So instead of the word leave it, or seeing food on the table cueing the dog to leave it, seeing their housemate eating out of a bowl, sitting on the couch chewing a chew, or playing with their own toy, that's going to be a situational cue to the dog to say leave it alone. I already have a video on teaching your dog to take turns taking treats, and yes, I just worked on nodding with Bliss. But now I'm going to add their name so that I can use their names when they're loose in the house. So I'm going to say, this is for Epic. This is for Bliss. Good. Bliss free. Whew. This is for Epic. Woo. This is for Bliss. And I can practice changing the picture. So maybe the treat is a thrown treat. This is for Epic, like a thrown toy. This is for Bliss. Woo. Awesome. And then when I hand out chews, I can tell them which is for which dog. Now I'm using high-value cheese, which they rarely get. So you can see it's almost like the behavior isn't very well trained. He's trying to lick the treats out of my hand. So that's why I wanted to use high-value treats so they can look a little bit more untrained. So Bliss is 8 months old. And Epic is a year old, and then I have Cloud, who is the youngest, who's about 5 months old. And the reason I don't have 3 dogs doing this exercise is because I'm going to work at one at a time and then add in more dogs as each dog has been trained. So I'm going to work with Cloud and Epic, and then I'm going to work with all 3, and then I'm going to work with all the other trained dogs. Are you going to do a roll? You're going to roll over? Okay, that's cool. Woo! Here you go, Goofy. Okay, so this is for Epic. This is for Bliss, and Bliss is really enjoying offering behavior, which he didn't do as a puppy. He wasn't so great at offering. Not great, but, you know, in comparison to my other dogs. So this is just a quick tip, is dogs can change. So don't label your dog as one thing or another. They can change, and the tip is just keep training, little tiny training sessions every day, working on different behaviors, and eventually it's going to click if you keep at it. So that's my tip. And then they can look all untrained as they try to get your attention while you're trying to do a tutorial. But I love this. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So you might have this problem where the one dog just is either mugging the treats out of your hand, trying to get the treats out of the hand that you have the treats in, or when you go to give the other dog the treat, they come in and think the treat is for them, or they're not thinking, they're just trying to eat the treat. So you might be having this problem, and instead of trying to work through it when you have multiple dogs that are being all patient, what you can do instead is just work with that dog with using a variety of high-value treats. Because the problem is not really these dogs, it's the problem is that he's excited by the treats and he's not thinking to keep a distance. So imagine these guys aren't here. They're very patient dogs, so I'm sure this is going to work well. And I'm going to put a treat back here, and I'm just going to mark and feed him back for staying back. Good job. So I would do this in a separate training session where I'm marking and feeding him for staying away from mugging my treat hand using a high rate of reinforcement, which is really hard to do if you're trying to train multiple dogs. Okay, so now that he's staying back, I could then add in the other dogs. He's still inching forwards. Hey, this is for Bliss. This is for Epic. Good for staying back. This is for Cloud. Once you've worked on taking turns for taking treats, you can work on taking turns for taking toys. So I'm going to say, this is for Epic. Get it, Epic. This is for Bliss. Get it, Bliss. Whew. Good job. That's nice. Yeah, that's yours. That's yours. Where's yours? This is yours. Go get it. This is yours. So when the dogs are playing with their toys, and say, for example, Bliss drops his and goes over and checks Epic, I'll say, where's yours? And then I'll point to the toy that he can play with that's available. But if a toy is in the paws of another dog or in their mouth, the toy is unavailable. I do like to teach dogs that they can play with long tug toys that I leave out, or I invite the dogs to take hold of and play with each other, but I don't generally like to leave long tug toys out with so many dogs, especially so many small dogs, because what can happen is if they shake it, they can whip the other dog in the eye, which actually was the reason that I stopped doing that. It scared me. I didn't want to have any of my dogs lose their eye to a stupid toy. Now Bliss is really excited about this one. So it doesn't necessarily mean they get their own toys that they have to remember. You just have to say the toy that you're playing with is the one you keep playing with. So he wants this carrot. Bliss, this is yours. Get it. This is for Epic. Get it. Woohoo! And they can switch toys, but I suggest having a couple more than just two, so they can switch to whatever toy. There's one over here. Ugh, is out in the environment, so maybe Epic wants to play with that. But if she was going to go over to, he's like, I want that one now. If she was going to go over to Bliss, then I would say, Epic, where's yours? And then show her this one. That's yours. You played that one. Or this one. Okay, I think you're breaking them. Okay, so he almost was going to go over and bother her. So if he went over there, I could say, leave it, which I've trained using positive reinforcement, and then go get yours. And then if he didn't, I could just, prevent him from going over. So I'm not trying to use punishment. I'm just trying to prevent him rehearsing taking her toy away, because if I just try to ignore it, he might just go over and not listen to me and take it. So I could either block with my hand or my body, and then just really try to convince him to get his own toy. So if you find that your dog is intimidated when you put your hand in front of their face or you block them, you can see that he's not. Then you need to work on it using positive reinforcement, where you put your hand there and then you feed him a treat or something like that. So they don't think it's some sort of intimidation game. It's just a way of preventing them from taking a toy from another dog who might want to actually get annoyed by it. Get it. What's that? Woo. Another thing that you can do is teach each dog the game of leave it, not only from food, but from toys, from chews, and from other dogs and people. And I'll link a tutorial on how to train that in the description below. But once you've worked with one dog on this exercise, you can start to combine them together. So you can cue a dog to leave it, and you see that Cloud doesn't understand that yet. He's just a babe. Leave it, good. Leave it, good. So I can work on the leave it cue while there are more dogs in the picture. Leave it. So maybe if a treat fell on the floor, not everyone's going to go for it. And you can see that I have not really worked on this with Cloud, and I need to work on him separately before adding him into this picture. Leave it. Good. And here it's confusing because I said good to the other dogs. So instead of saying good, leave it, I could just give it to these guys. Leave it, good. And if everyone gets it right, I can say good. Leave it. Good. Now, if the dog keeps getting up, it means it's too hard. So I really am doing bad training here, having the 3 out. The key with multiple dog training is that you want to work with each dog one-on-one and create reliable, strong behaviors before adding them together. So you can see that he and she has worked on this exercise more than Cloud. It's not that Cloud is misbehaving. He's just had less reinforcement when I've said leave it, and food is dropped on the floor. Leave it. Good. He almost got up. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Good job. And now I can try with the dog standing up, but he's not ready for that yet. But one thing I could do is have the other ones loose. Get it. Standing up like this. Epic, go get it. Leave it. Good. Good job, Epic. And I'm going to encourage her to stand up. Good job, Cloud, and he can stay in the down. Epic, go get it. Bliss, go get it. Bliss, go get it. Epic, go get it. Good job, Cloud. Good job. Cloud, get it. Bliss, get it. Epic, get it. Cloud, get it. This is for Bliss. This is for Epic. This is for Cloud. Woo! Good job. Get yours. Yours is right there. Look, right there. Get that one. This one. Up here. Upsie. There you go. That's yours. Of course, use common sense, and if you're not sure how far apart your dogs need to be in order to feel comfortable, I suggest getting help from a professional trainer to help you with that. Depending on your situation, you might need to use barriers, crates, or have the dogs in separate rooms or inside and outside when they're enjoying their chews and toys in between training sessions.
Halo. Wish. Pupsy. Flash. Kitty. Oh yeah. This is yours. This is yours. This is for Halo. For Wish. Huh? This is for Splash. Bliss. This is yours. Get it. Get it, Bliss. Good. Get it. Woo. That's yours. Get it. That's yours. Good job. This is for Halo. This is for Wish. Flash, bring. Bring, boo-boo. Bring, boo-boo, bring. Yeah, there we go. Catch it. Boom. This is yours. Right here. Right there. Yeah, that's yours.
It's important to understand when you're using positive reinforcement, when you interrupt and redirect a dog to get their own toy or their own chew, you're not really training them to leave the other dog alone because they did the behavior you didn't like and then they went back to play with their own toy. Instead, you really have to focus on those training games where you're reinforcing the dog for leaving the other dogs alone with food and toys in training sessions, and then if you find you're interrupting your dog a lot, you have to reduce criteria. 2 exercises that are greatly beneficial to work on are taking turns in training sessions and teaching your dog to settle with distractions. Don't forget to check out the description below for all the links to the different tutorials I've mentioned in this tutorial.
You can get it. Splash, get it. Splash, get it.
Halo, get it. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Pups. Leave it, Wish. Puppy, get it. Woo.
Leave it, Halo. Woohoo! Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to support my work, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You can also become a supporting member of Channel KigoPup by clicking the join button, which gains you access to an extra video a month that you can find in the community section of my YouTube channel. See you later.